What's going on, YouTube? Long time no talk. Back over at my parents' here to start work on the motor. Got Dave here with me, our master mechanic and best friend here. So I don't think I showed this 80 horse after, like really in depth when we put the boat in here, which is over there. So let's get the bonnet off here. The fucker's on there. Alright. Zoom out here. Here we go. This is the one I went further south for and paid about $200 for this and the controls and whatnot. We're hoping this one turns over, as this has a power tilt. Alright, we're going to dig into this and I'll check in with y'all as soon as we kind of get going here, so I'm not quite sure what we're doing. So I'll let Dave kind of take the reins here, and I'll just be here to help along and record what I can. This is where we're at so far. We haven't really made it far, but just thought I would try to show a little bit more of this process. Right now Dave is taking our wire harness and just kind of trying to find our positive and negative leads for the battery. We're also trying to diagnose our fuel setup here. That's where the fuel connector was. We disconnected it due to it being a little bit smaller. Or, well, we need a little bit more of a narrow spot because of that. But who knows? We could probably just cut that off, though, couldn't we? Not that we would want to, but if all else fails. Who knows? Alright, we'll be back. Alright, welcome back, guys. So, we had to take a quick break to go and grab some supplies. And also some fuel for the gas tank here. Actually had a little mishap. Thankfully, it's not a lot of gas that was missed, but needed to put my fuel connector in. We kind of left it in the sun. Well, I left it in the sun. And it caused the tank to kind of pressurize, so it started coming out the section there. But here we are. Dave is currently stripping some wires down here so we can get the switch in, which is right here. Okay. This was on my other motor, so it should work on this, seeing how they're from the same era. So as soon as we get that done, I'll bring it back and we'll continue on to what we're doing here. Alright guys, so right now we're working on this wire here that was frayed. We finally got the connector free. Dave did that. He also did, we switched connectors here. So we couldn't find the type of battery that supported like my marine battery there, with like the little extra prongs on the side for the starter terminals. So we switched over to a normal terminal end there. So it shouldn't be too bad.
Excuse me, Scott.
Yep. So Dave's just hooking this part up here. As soon as we get that done, I'm not sure what we're doing after that, but we're making a...
Figure out the switch.
I'll get that. So I'll stop here. Once when we get this done, we're gonna start working on the switch like Dave said there. And I'll show you what it looks like when we're done there. Stay tuned. We're getting ready to wire the switch. We got those 3 wires done. We had to look it up as I forgot the service manual. So we're looking for we were looking it up online, which was hard to do, but Dave has a service manual type deal for Johnson motors, but thankfully kind of the same era, so we're hoping that it works. Because, I mean, we have a lot of the same wires that it was asking for, so we'll figure it out regardless. I mean, it's not looking too bad at least. But, look at this key. Yeah. Nice old guy. Look at that. Nice and bulky. I mean, nice and sturdy. All right. We'll be back with you as soon as we get the key here all hooked up. And anything after that? Are we going to try and start it after that, or?
We'll move in that direction.
Yes. Move in that direction. Sounds good to me. Back in a few. All right. We're getting to the exciting part here, guys. Dave's hooking up the battery here. There we go. All right, and then we're going to try and turn the motor over here.
Wait,
Oh.
we gotta do the sniff test. See the
No,
smoke coming
I
out of
heard.
her?
No, but I heard something.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Here, do you want to hold my camera here? Well, try not to electrocute myself here. What did I do? Use the wrong key. Oh. That sounds fucking amazing. All right, let's hook some gas up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that sounded so good. Did you get the top spinning too, or?
Well, you want to do that?
Well, here. Do you want to turn my key? I'll. Sorry, I took it out. Sorry.
Aren't they both outside?
I don't know, to be honest. I feel like they should be.
Well, maybe they are.
Look at this spin. It sounds so freaking healthy. All right, let's get some fuel to this beast. All right, bring the thunder.
Let's look at the points.
Look at the points. Alrighty.
Oops, that didn't stop it.
Alright, so we're just getting the cap off here to check the points, but we might be a little bit, because as we were sitting here, we started seeing some smoke coming from over here, which is our wiring harness into the motor. So we'll need to figure that out. But I would almost say that looks brand new. Those are in beautiful shape. Still could be corroded though. But our cap looks good. Well, should we hook it back up to try and see about spark? How do they look in there? I can't really tell. Here, I gotta put you down real quick, guys. I need my flashlight. Alright, so remember how I said we saw smoke coming out of the wire harness? We tried turning on the key to see if we have spark at the coil, and our my ignition wire here was starting to smoke. And upon further inspection, the ground seems to be the issue. So it's the wires melted on our starter, or on the key there. So it's somewhere in here. But all right, as soon as we get this kind of diagnosed, we'll figure this out, and I'll bring us back here. All right, so we're back at it again here. It's a new day. It's been a couple of weeks since some of the earlier stuff that we were doing. But I went and got the service manual for the motor. I'm going to do a separate little video on this because I know after looking at some YouTube videos, there is not many, not much content of that motor, or of this motor on YouTube. So I'm going to maybe do a little video of showing the pages and whatnot, just in case anyone out there is looking for certain schematics or anything on this motor. So we got everything hooked up to how we believe it should be now. So hopefully when we go to fire this up, we don't cause any melting wires, which would be the best part here. But I'll get back to you here in a little bit as soon as we get everything all set up and ready to go. But we are set to start cranking any minute now, so stay tuned. Ready?
Yep.
All right, here goes nothing. Nothing. I don't get anything. It's a battery dead. All right, so we attempted a few times after our last failure there. We had everything wired correctly, except for we didn't have the amp meter in. So we went and grabbed an amp meter just to see if that would solve our issue. We think either our switch is bad or our solenoid is bad. So Dave jumped it and was able to get it to turn. And in the meantime, we just decided, let's just see if we can get it to run by checking plugs and everything else to see if we have spark and to make sure everything's good. And we did that. And then we tried to start it. And sure enough, it does run. We're going to go ahead and start it again so I can prove that it runs. But look at all the nice little mouse nests that was up the tailpipe. That all came out.
It's probably hot, Amy.
So we're going to go ahead and get it running here again. I'm going to just kind of jump start to it going. So just 1 second. All right, here we go, guys. Oh yeah, that's nice. All right, so that's where we're gonna leave it for today. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get a new solenoid and a new switch, just to make sure that, you know, it's one or the other and that we're, you know, covering both angles here. But other than that, we're all set. I have the service manual, which I'm gonna make a video on all by itself of just kind of slowly going over it, just in case there's anyone out there who has a, you know, an 80 horse Evinrude Starflite 6 select SWIC motor here. This thing's going to be a runner, guys. The only thing that we need to do now is, once when we get that stuff replaced, we also have to flip it around here. The power trim isn't working. So Dave thinks he has a way to work around that. So we'll be good to go. You didn't see it on video, but when we were getting everything ready, we were getting water out from the impeller here. As you can see, there's water all up in here. We wanted to verify that it was working, and it is. So thanks for watching, guys. Sorry it's taken so long to get a video out, but you know, we've been busy. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.